What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, I'm on an electric bike, and I'm actually going to Smith's that's down here. This thing took a big old beating yesterday coming home, and I'll get to that in just a second. But in this video, I'm going to review a new iPhone that I got. Shout out to my boyfriend Fred. And I am going to also be there to get a charger. Silly boy forgot to give me a charger, but that's okay. He was in the moment too. So was I. Boy, I got some stories to tell. So as soon as this light turns green is when I'll shut the camera back on and I'll just start writing. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the footage. Never done this review before. Okay. Wow, they're squeaking pretty hard. Okay. This is the similar route that I take going to work, but except I don't go towards Smith's. This is a new Smith's that was built just a few months ago, and I kind of like going there because it's got more selection, but the prices I can disagree with. Other than that, it's alright. It's alright. So this is the neighborhood that I go through because it's much safer. There we go. By the way, I'm still using this Android to record and do my content, but I'll be using the iPhone mostly. Nice. That's what I say every time I mess up. I'm gonna go lock her up. So as you guys can finally see, I got a charger for this phone now. So this is gonna really take some time for me to learn this. By the way, shout out to Fred for doing everything on this phone for me. Literally everything. This one really trips me out of this whole thing, is that this is the silent mode button. And for a while, I couldn't figure out why is it that I couldn't hear anything go off. Well, duh, silent mode was on. So I'm going to open it, and I'm not showing any of you my password. So here's the home screen. Another thing that trips me out is this browser. Yeah, I watched his YouTube video. And the crazy part is that the search bar is at the bottom. I'm used to it being on the top. So if any genius can figure that out, let me know. I'm used to it that way, but that's okay. Another thing that I'm getting used to also is the messages. Because normally I would have a button down here that I would press, then I can just swipe. In this case, I just do this. By the way, FaceTime's automatically set up. I got all my contacts on there, all my emails. The photos were not transferred, but that's okay. I actually don't mind photos being on this Android, which is what I'm using to record this. The photos I already have on this iPhone, I'm not going to pull it up. There's a particular picture that is saved on here that resembles quite a bit of what happened yesterday, which I'll get to that in a minute. But anyways, I'm going to start getting used to this. Keep in mind, everyone, this is the very first iPhone I've ever had. Ever. Because I've grown up in smartphones and Androids. And Androids have never done me wrong too much. Like this phone I'm using right here to record is a Samsung Galaxy, which is powered by Android. Don't get me wrong, it takes great pictures. My problem with this Android that I have, that I'm using right now, is when I'm calling somebody and I accidentally drop the phone, it hangs up. That's my big problem with that phone. Other than that, it's about all I got. This iPhone is going to really take me some time to get used to. Because, like I said, this is the very first iPhone I've ever had. So, thank you for the iPhone XR. I really appreciate it, Fred. I really appreciate it. And I definitely appreciate everything that you did for me yesterday. Shout out to you. Hey guys, sorry it took me so long to finish this video and edit this video. You know, right when I was in the middle of making the video, I had to go out and do something, and then I just had so much energy taken out of me. I pretty much took a nap like half the day. I still feel a little tired. I'm pretty sure I still look really tired. So I'm just going to finish this video, and I'm just going to make this quick. Because I did say, you know, to a couple people that I am doing a video, and, you know, it's going to be released today, so I'm just going to make this quick. Alright, so yesterday I went to Sam's Town, and I met up with both Fred and Raymond, but when I got there and I locked up my bike, I had texted Fred and said, hey, I'm at Sam's Town right now, I'll be in the forest, you know, just meet me in the forest. That's when he texted me and said, Raymond's there. I said, he's here. I didn't know that. So I called Raymond and I told him, hey, I'm in the forest, just meet me here. So I see, you know, Bob Marley coming towards me. And that's literally the first thing I called him when I started seeing him coming towards me. And, you know, to let Fred know, I took a picture of Raymond and I actually told him to go into that sleeping position just to make Fred laugh. And I knew it would make him laugh also because, Raymond, you're a sleepy type. You know, people think, oh, Charmaine, you were asleep too. Yeah, true. At least I get sleep and I wake up. But anyway, so finally we were there for, you know, for a good amount of time. And then, you know, Fred was showing up a little late, but that's fine. You know, last time I showed up late, the time before that Daniel showed up late. And at the same time, on the same day that I showed up late, Raymond didn't show up at all. And this time Fred showed up late. But that's okay. I think it's kind of a funny tradition. At least somebody shows up. But anyways, finally Fred gives me a call and says, hey, both your guys' bikes are being stolen. So me and Raymond kind of start speed walking out those doors and getting ready to walk towards the bike rack. And I can hear somebody laughing behind me. And I know that laugh pretty well. That was Fred. And I joked around with him and all that. And Raymond did too. Finally, we went to TGI Fridays. I'll eat the buffalo wings. It's pretty much the one thing that's worth me eating. I really like their wings. I really do. I'm sure next time when I get there, I'll try something different. I'm not really too sure. But I think the next time I do go there, I'll try something different. But anyway, so Raymond had his little fish and chips. And Fred had the same thing I had, buffalo wings. And I'm at the same time getting used to this phone and asking Fred a couple questions. Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? What's with this feature? What's that feature? Anything really I can try to figure out on this phone, because he has an XR also. And, you know, the thing is, Fred grew up on iPhones. I grew up in different kinds of phones, but that's okay. Like I said, that iPhone XR is literally the very first iPhone I've ever had in my entire life. So, you know, I'm still getting used to it, and it will take me some time to get used to. Alright. So we all had a great time having our little meals, and of course, I don't want to get into too much detail, but, you know, Fred did text me something pretty funny and ironic. I said, yeah, but how would I do that? And he said, just scoot in closer. I'm leaving it at that. But during that time, we had talked a little bit more. Finally, we're getting ready to pay for our meals. We end up getting up and leaving. And, you know, Raymond said he has to go home, so he just said bye. And we all said bye. I hung out with Fred for a little while longer. And what I'm about to tell you next, I'm going to do whatever I can to leave out some details, but I will tell you some things did happen, and Alright guys, so this is your second warning, and if you still didn't see it, your fault. Don't come crying to me. So, I'm not going to dance around the bush on details, but at the same time, you know, I know what can be said and what can't be said, you know, especially under this content. So, here we go. Here's how it all started. So, Raymond goes home, we said our goodbyes. I'm still hanging out with Fred, and him and I actually did talk about getting a room somewhere. Some hotels and motels will actually let you do a thing called an hourly. And what that means is that you stay in there for like a good 1, 2, 3, however many hours that you want. It's not usually a full day. Some places will allow you to do that. Some. Not all, but some. So I did call up a motel room and I got us a reservation. And what's cool is that it was actually just down the street from Sam's Town. And I knew exactly where it was because right across the street is a business that I go to, you know, just grab a few things. So I get there, and mind you, I'm on an electric bike. He's on his cruiser. So I obviously get there before him, and he just said that he just took a bus the rest of the way. I just busted up laughing. But anyways, I got there, and I checked us in. Unfortunately, they needed both our IDs. Lucky him, he was there just in time. So we showed our IDs, I got the room, and we go into the motel room. We talk for a little bit. One thing sort of led to another. And let's just say that I gave him a big thank you for the iPhone XR. And basically, to put it to you all this way, he gave me a thanks for everything else, that of all the things that I've done to help him out on, you know, everything. Not to get into details of what all I've helped him with, but let's just say in a relationship, you know, we all have to help each other out. And he certainly did that. I will tell you this though, I'm not going to lie. Big part of me was nervous about it, but another big part of me was like, yay. The moment it's here, we're all getting older here, so I'm actually really happy that, you know, we did what we did. We've talked about it happening for a long time. Finally, the day actually comes and we do what we say we would do. Now, to answer all your guys' questions, yes, he had protection. I gotta say though, that time in the room was incredible. It was so incredible, I actually got dizzy trying to get up. And I showed my talents, and he definitely showed his. So it was a really great time. And, yeah. I feel like I got more things to say, but I'm trying to figure out what is it that I should actually put in this content. I will tell you, though, that was a lot of fun. I'm dead serious. That was a lot of fun. That's definitely a night I'll never, ever forget. I won't even forget the room number. Pretty damn easy to remember. Let alone the place that we went to. And the bed was actually pretty comfortable, too. Don't get me wrong. It was a small space, but I don't really care. I really don't care. It's the thought that counts. He gave me more than just the iPhone XR. He pretty much gave me all of him. And I gave him all of me. That was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of fun. And you know, coming home from that time, because I went from, you know, that room all the way home. And he did too. He had to go home also. Now, I'm jumping story to story here. I'm jumping all over the place. So, I remember when we were all done with everything, he said thank you to me, and I said thank you. We cleaned up after ourselves, and, you know, I went out and I checked us out, and we were pretty much set. So when we all were getting ready to leave, he said, text me or call me when you get home, and that's exactly what I did. Now, Now I'm doing this right. On my way home was quite interesting. It was really interesting. Because going to Sam's Town, going to the, motel room was not a problem at all. Believe it or not, I had a blast. But coming home, things got a little interesting. I'm coming home, and there's certain things that on my route that I didn't recognize were there before. And mind you, I took the same route that I took going to Sam's Town. The same exact route. Except, now I'm coming home. And things were just off. Things were different. There was a lot of construction going on, whereas before it used to be 2 lanes, and then it narrowed down to 1 lane to where it was not safe. Now, I'm not sure if it was legal what I did or not, but I did it out of safety. I didn't want to be run over, let alone back up traffic. Yes, I'm on an electric bike, but it's not as fast as those cars. You know what I mean? What I did is I had to maneuver around all these, construction cones. If it was safe for me, I would ride just on the side of those cones. When I see a car coming, I would temporarily go on yet another side of those cones. That way I let a car pass. Luckily, there wasn't too many cars that were coming my way. So that part I got lucky on. But to avoid getting hit or back up traffic, I went around somewhere to try to take a detour. And what happened was that I actually slipped on some dirt and fell off my bike. I'm okay. Bike's fine. I'm okay. Somehow I didn't get it scratched up or nothing. However, what I'm about to tell you guys next may be sensitive to some of you younger viewers, but let's just say when I got up from my bike, and again, I'm fine. I'm fine. Somehow I didn't get scratched up. Bike's fine too. But let's just say that in a ditch somewhere where I was laying down, I saw something in there that did not look right, and really you could tell was just not supposed to be there. So long story short, I'm not going to tell you guys what I saw, but let's just say it did not look good at all. It looked pretty bad, and I was able to put in an anonymous tip letting them know what was it and what I found, where was it. And after I left them a tip, I just got on my bike and just left. I'm not sticking around because I don't know if this is a setup. I don't know if this is real. I don't want to find out either. All I did was put an anonymous tip and left. I'm not sticking around to find out what it is. And also, it was getting really dark. It was getting close to 8 o'clock. And it was starting to get really dark. So I'm like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. Get me home. And the battery life was actually still pretty good as well. Now on my electric bike, it goes up to 5 bars. When I left, the room, I had about like 4 bars left, which was not bad. But going home was a little strange. Especially the route that I took going home, which is about the same route that I took going to Sam's Town. I noticed it dropped quite a few bars. I'm not sure what is it that made me lose bars so quickly, because I'm mostly pedaling. If I were to use the throttle, it would have used more juice. But laced with pedal assistance, it doesn't take as much energy. It just maintains the speed that you're at. Especially when you go up on gears. But, oh well, I am a bit of a ways away from home, so maybe that's the case. So, I finally get home, and, I told my family, hey, I had a great time. It was fun. Of course, not telling them what I did in the room, let alone telling them I reserved a room. They don't need to know that part. So, and finally I get home, I text Fred, hey, I made it home. I'm going to take a shower and just relax for a little bit and we'll talk later. And he texts back, okay, that's cool. And I guess he was editing the video as well, because he recorded parts of the visit. Now, I was in the moment. I meant to record parts of the visit, but I didn't. So that's why I'm doing this video, so I'm talking about it. That's what that is. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed telling what all happened. I had a blast, and I hope to do it again real soon sometime. Thank you again, Fred, for the iPhone and everything else about that day. Thank you, Raymond. It was great seeing you after all these years. You know, I've known you about the same amount of time that I've known Fred. So, I love you all. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.